Welcome to Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Lisa Lumine.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, Lisa?
Just having a gorgeous day. How about you?
I'm doing great. So a lot of people have been asking me, who is that? Who is that? Who is that girl on your show? So today I want to interview you so that people know who you are and some of your background and things.
Okay, I'm down. That's always fun for me. Sure. Why not?
So do you want to tell the people where you're from and a little bit about your
Yeah,
upbringing?
yeah, I'm from California originally, but my dad's a DJ. He's like an old school boss jock. So we moved around, like we lived in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Texas, everywhere. So we moved around my whole life. So I spent some time in Texas when I was like a preteen, and then I came here to New Orleans when I was 16 and fell in love with New Orleans. So basically just followed my dad's career. He's in radio. My mom's in radio. My sister ended up being in radio. My brother did for a little bit, but my whole family does some kind of media. My mom actually did like some modeling and some acting, and my dad had done some acting too. So basically, got here to New Orleans when I was like 15, 16 years old, just fell in love with it here. It's like such a crazy city. Have you been here yet?
No, not yet. That's like
You
one of the
need to come
places
down
I
here. You would
wanted to
love
go.
it.
And
Like I keep telling you, you need to come down. Yeah,
yeah,
we're going through a lot right now. They're saying that they might not even have Mardi Gras, but Mardi Gras is so much fun. You got to come down and
when is
experience
Mardi
it
Gras?
at least one time. It's coming up in March or February. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be fun. We should be having it come back really strong. But anyway, so I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, I
Yes,
fell in
it's
love with it
live, bro.
here.
It's live for everyone watching. It's live. Yes. Shout out to Cadillac Jack. What's up,
That's a
bro?
cool name. That's a cool name. Yeah, but so I basically, my dad was like, I don't want you ever getting into radio. I don't want you doing, anything in radio whatsoever. And so basically, I went over his head when I was like 15, and I was like waitressing, and his boss said to me, "I'll give you $50 if you dress up like the bee from the radio station."
And like dance around
I
outside.
danced around. So that's what I did. And it was like maybe 3-4 weeks in, and I had to do one of my dad's, like DJs do remotes where they go to like car dealerships and places like that.
Yeah.
And, they meet people and they do contests. And so my dad would go out. That's what I was doing. I was going to those and having a good old time. It was like miserable in Louisiana heat too, like in the dead of summer. And I don't know who wore this suit before me, but when I tell you this thing stinks so bad, I was like, I need to get out of this. But I just knew that was my way to break into it. So my dad, he actually found out because I did a remote with him. And one day I just took off the head and I was like, hey, what's up? So I did that.
So
And
your
yeah.
dad's DJing and you're wearing the suit. He doesn't know that.
Yeah. And my dad, he was he's still a very famous DJ. Like you can YouTube him. I think I showed you clips of him before, didn't I? But like he's pretty famous. He's pretty well known. He's considered like a boss jock, back in the day, pretty legendary. Yeah. So
Is that what you wanted to do when you were younger?
Not at all.
What was your
No.
dreams? Like, what did you want to be?
I always wanted to make television. That was my thing, but I didn't know in what avenue. Like that was a faraway dream for me. And I wasn't ever, brave enough, bold enough, beautiful enough, or at least I didn't think so in my own head. So everything I ever did, I just faked it till I made it. You know what I mean? And that's what I did with radio. It wasn't really my passion, but it was something I knew I could be good at if I put forth enough energy. So that's what I did. I just started working. Then they let me run the board, which was when you basically link together all the music to play overnight, the automation for the radio station. So I worked from being like the mascot, the dress like the bee, to actually like operating the board. And I learned how to get really good on it. And I worked midnight to 5 a.m. Then they let me do the weather. And from the weather, I started to do traffic. And then I became a traffic reporter. And I did traffic.
You get paid for doing this when you were younger?
Oh yeah. That's how I broke in the business. And then from radio, I did radio traffic, and I was the first traffic reporter back on the radio after Katrina, which was bizarre because everything changed after Katrina, traffic patterns, everything like that. So it was so bizarre to like do traffic there. So
you were living down there when all that happened?
Yeah.
How old were you when Katrina happened?
24, 25. But I transitioned from radio to television. And so then I did television for the next 10 years. And, it wasn't really for me. They want you. they want you to really conform. They want your hair a certain way. They want, your makeup. And I just don't have a good time living within the lines. I never have, and I never, you know what I mean? Like,
How
I
long?
have,
So how long did you do the TV
for
thing?
one station, I did, I think, 6 years. The other station, I did 4 years. And then I did like independent work in between. So I did like some infomercials, I did some commercials, I did all kinds of things. So I kept myself busy in between everything. And, TV is fun, but like I said, you really got to fall in line. So
And they
some of the
hold you to
things
a certain regard, right?
they
With
do
your
well, and
lifestyle.
I think it's different for, women than it is men. I think women are totally held to a different standard. You know what I mean? That's probably why
Yeah.
we like get along talking so much about mafia girls and stuff, because it's like this weird dynamic of like they have this weird, power, but yet they don't.
Yeah.
And the same goes for women in television, you know what I mean? Or any kind of media. The standard is different. You have to do the same job that men are doing, but yet look good doing it. Don't gain weight, don't be a human being. You know what I mean? It's bizarre. I saw a lot of women have a very hard time. And like there's weird shit too. There are people who will be like, your lipstick ruined my day. And you're like, what the yeah.
Like in where I live, in Connecticut, there were television personalities who gained weight in the past, and they were like shamed for it and things like that. And then
Yeah,
there
they
was
will.
other things that were happening out
Yeah.
here, and it was like they put a spotlight on these people.
Well, it's funny because like we have a couple notorious guys down here. So the two guys that I can tell you just right off the top of my head can beat any mafia guy just with their story because it's so crazy. But like the first guy, I worked with him off and on in New Orleans media. He was a sports reporter. Like everybody talked about this guy because he's like a legend in New Orleans, and his name is Vince Marinello. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, so he was like this guy, and the funny thing about him is like me and him would always talk mafia guys. Like me and him, like he knew all kind of stuff. So did I. So we would dork out, right? So
Yeah.
after Katrina, I'll tell you this story about him really quick. So after Katrina, they had this big welcome back party for everybody in media at this bar called the Rock and Bowl. So we go there. I see Vince, and Vince is iconic in our city, right? He's passed away now. I'm going to tell you about what happened to him. Anyway, long story long, I knew something was off. He had lost everything. You could tell he wasn't in a good place. Well, anyway, 2 weeks later, he shot his wife.
What?
Yes, and he ended up dying in Angola. And let me tell you, I was with him that night, and like right before he did it, 2 weeks after, I had drinks with him, and I knew something was up. So we have like this weird dynamic of like certain men in this city that have like done crazy shit, like popped off and killed their wife. There's like two that I know of. There's another guy named Ron Hunter, and he made his look like a suicide. So
So
yeah,
I have a picture of him. I got a picture of him, his wife, and
he was famous for his toupee. Yeah, yeah. He was such a charismatic guy. He's an icon here. Everybody used to love him. He was the voice of our
so
football team.
what made him flip out and kill his wife? Like
So the rumor is, yeah, I think that's from the movie, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's he looked very similar. There he
him
is.
in
That's him.
prison.
That's
So
him. Yeah.
there's an updated picture of him in prison. I'll show it to
That's
you.
him in prison. He passed away, I think, like 2, 3 years ago. Nobody knows. So after Katrina, he was like shell shocked. Everybody was, and he was living in a FEMA trailer. And apparently, his wife and him were going through this really bad divorce. And it was funny because that night he's at the bar, and I remember when I walked in, we made eye contact, and so I went over and chit chatted with him. Oh, poor, there he is with no yeah, and we used to always talk mafia stuff, this guy. And he got me a drink and we were talking. And I remember my girlfriend kept asking him about his wife, and you could tell he did not want to talk about it, but she wasn't picking up what he was laying down. So anyway, and I'm like nudging her, like, shut up. And so 2 weeks later, he goes and puts on this ridiculous disguise and goes and shoots her in the parking lot of a building over here. Not even joking.
In a
Not even joking.
disguise, he
Like the worst disguise ever. And the police end up finding him because they find the list. He made a list, this guy, of the things: get a disguise, get a gun, rent a car. I mean, like, I'm not even joking. So anyway,
I
and
have the little story real quick. Vince Marinello was an American longtime sportscaster who's featured on WWLAM FM radio, previously whatever radio, New Orleans, Louisiana, later known for leading media
my two
personality
stations. Yeah,
covering
yeah.
aspects recovery in the city, devastation from Hurricane Katrina. He died in 2020. He killed his wife, and he was sentenced to life in 2006. He died in prison. That is insane.
Yeah, so that was I was like hanging out, having a delightful evening with this guy. Yeah, I swear. It was like one of the weirdest moments of my life. But like we have a lot here in New Orleans that are like these weird media guys that, it's a family kind of here. Almost like, they think they're a
how
lot more than they're.
how was it there when Katrina happened? Like what how was it for
Mm.
you? What was
I
the
don't
process
even, they
for you to
made this, there's this documentary out right now and everybody was talking about it. I can't even watch documentaries. Like, I don't like watching documentaries. I don't like watching any of the news footage. I just can't because I like get in my head, but it was a rough time. I think the weirdest thing for me was actually, after we came back, because, we all had to leave because there was no water, no electricity. So, we were evacuated, then we came
did
back
you
and like,
leave before it that
no, I
like
was here through the whole thing. I got off air that evening.
mhm.
And when I left, it was like just gridlock. So it was like one of those things where it was like, I didn't want to get in the traffic and wait. And I
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I didn't think it would be that bad. I really didn't. And we were in the third floor of my apartment. And I remember we went in the bathroom and the water in the toilet was swishing back and forth. And I was like, oh, this is not good. You could feel it like swaying. And there was like a big oak tree in front. It just ripped that out. It was just chaos. And like the next morning I woke up and we're on the third floor. So I looked down and there was people in boats going down and like spear fishing. I'm not even
So
joking. There were
there's water
snakes.
all around your whole building?
And that's not even the worst of it. There's a graveyard that was down, like, I don't know, maybe a couple miles out. And they said that the bodies had floated out and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really horrible. There was, people running around with guns. It was a horrible time to
There
be in
was
the city.
alligators in the water. There's all
It was
kinds of
crazy.
chemicals in the
I saw
water.
people the day after and they were fishing and spearing these fish. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? And they're like, we're going to eat them. And I'm like, oh my God. But like, I'm thinking like the water must have been so contaminated and gross. But yeah, it was awful. So yeah, we evacuated. But like when we came back, the weird thing was like going to grocery stores. Like you could only get certain amounts of milk, cheese, things like that. And you had to wait in a line to get in the store. And we were rationed with gas. There was not a lot of ice,
Yeah,
not a
so
lot
they
of
were
milk.
limiting everything.
It was a really hard time to live through. But if you love this city, you kind of look at it like, we all kind of, if you love something, you stay strong through it and with it and you don't abandon it. So I've always felt that way about it here, and in this weird way, it's uniquely just like me because it's like a place of, a bunch of pirates and thieves and gypsies and that suits me just fine, like that's okay with me. You know what I mean? Like it's, my daughter, she likes to put these little whiskers on like her face and paint her face all crazy. And
Yeah,
we were visiting my aunt and uncle and people were like giving us looks. Like here in New Orleans, nobody blinks twice because like they're painted up too. Like they're wearing jester hats and
yeah,
body
yeah.
suits, like
Walking
nobody cares.
around and
And I wish I was lying with that. I love it so much because I'm not lying about it, but like there are literally people like that everywhere you look. So,
do you think
it's,
the crime was worse before Katrina or after
no,
Katrina?
after for sure. It was so different before Katrina, and unless you were here, you'll never understand how it was. And not that it was some, perfect utopia, but it was definitely different pre-Katrina, in my opinion. So yeah, it got worse. Some things are better, some things are worse. You'd think
Yeah.
our pumps would be fixed, but no.
Does it still flood there and things?
Oh God, if it rains hard here, we're, shit out of luck, I was just reading though, I'm like really into New Orleans history because like we have really cool, everything's haunted here. There are houses,
There
like
was
if you go
wars
to,
fought there. There's
right, like
lot of haunted.
if you go to the French Quarter, they have apartments and it's like apartment for rent, haunted. And I love that. Like my dream is to rent one. Like that's my dream, just to have a haunted apartment in the French Quarter one day, strip clubs, they're haunted, not even joking. They got a stripper ghost at like Hustler Club, not even
What?
joking.
They got a stripper ghost.
I'm not even joking. It's like this orb and it goes around the pole. I'm not even joking. I've seen it on TikTok. I'm like, oh, girl, her name was Trixie.
Trixie.
That's
Biloxi,
Biloxi. I love
months
Biloxi.
ago. Katrina,
Matrice 20
three
miles.
boats,
God,
tsunami.
Biloxi
Oh
was
my
another thing. Biloxi was so different pre-Katrina. Biloxi they call the, white trash Riviera and all that, you know what I mean? And pre-Katrina, it was cool because it had like putt-putt golf and fairs and carnivals and like, You know,
All of it's
it was
gone.
fun.
Like they don't have that type of stuff there
Yeah, I
anymore.
mean, they have some of it, but it's not like it used to be. Like before, during, before Katrina, it was like they had just so much. It was really vast. And they've cleaned some things up and some things are much more beautiful, but I kind of prefer it the way it was,
They're
They're
still
still
finding
finding.
bodies.
I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, yeah, I believe that. You can go to graveyards here and like look in the tombs and see bones and stuff. Like,
Yeah, you said you're gonna take us on a trip one day,
I
right?
know, it's amazing. I know. I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, it's so fascinating. They were digging for a time capsule here. So I don't, yeah, like one of the bottom of one of our monuments. They couldn't find it though. Yeah.
There was wars fought there.
Oh
Like
God,
the
yeah. Battle of
French
New
came,
Orleans,
right?
Chalmette Battlefield. Yeah, we have a lot of haunted stuff here. The French Quarter is notably the most haunted place. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, there are some places that are so creepy. They have like the blacksmith shop here, which is the oldest bar ever in New Orleans. Like literal pirates were like going there and having drinks, right?
Blackbeard and shit.
Right. It's really
I'm sure it was
creepy.
full of them back then with
Yeah,
running
100%.
on
And
their
like old
boats.
brothels and all that. Like you can Google and kind of like go down the rabbit hole. In fact, today I was just looking about the LaLaurie Mansion. Nicolas Cage owns it. Do you know about that?
No, no.
Oh, it's one of my favorite stories. So the LaLaurie Mansion is this beautiful, elaborate mansion right there in the quarter. And Nicolas Cage apparently owns it. And he was living in it very eccentrically like a year ago. And he also has a grave here in one of the cemeteries, and it looks like a pyramid. And when he
Really?
dies, that's where he's going to be buried because he spends time down here. But the LaLaurie Mansion is famous because this lady owned it all these years back in the 1800s, and a fire breaks out. And when the fire department gets there, she has the slave quarters boarded up, and they're like, you have to open the door because the people are going to burn to death. And they bust down the door. She won't give the keys. So when they bust down the door, they find all these slaves, and they're like, they've been mutilated and tortured, and they're hanging up on the walls, and like some of them had like these sex change operations or like holes in
What?
their head. So she was torturing them. This angry mob finds out that what she did, and they run her out of the city, and she's able to escape off to Paris. And now it's such a haunted building. And so Nicolas Cage, of course, came down and bought it. So now he lives there, I guess, off and on. And
I
you
have
see
a
him in the French
picture of it.
Quarter.
I got a picture of it right here.
Yeah, it's a creepy house. Yeah, I want to go inside. It's so big. I've never been inside it before, but it's really creepy. And I'm dying to see Nicolas Cage one day. If I see him in the French Quarter, there it is. Yeah, so apparently he was like living in there for a while, and he definitely has, yeah, see? And he has like a gravestone that's a pyramid in one of the cemeteries. I love it. I think it's so much
Let me
fun.
see
I'd
if
be
I
so
can
happy.
find that pyramid thing. Let me see.
It would make my day if I saw Nicolas Cage. I
Conjuring
would lose it.
creatures. He said conjuring. There's a ghost there, a woman
Oh
ghost.
God! Apparently, there's a bunch of them.
It's
There's so
insane.
many. Like everything in the French Quarter is so haunted. Like if you don't believe in ghosts, come down here and stay in the French Quarter. I
I got
honestly like.
So that's where Nicolas Cage is gonna be buried when he dies?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, yeah. He's got this weird pyramid-looking thing. There it is. Yeah. He's so weird.
Have you been to it?
Oh God, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's in the same cemetery as our voodoo priestess queen, Marie Lavoir. I've looked at her grave many times. You go put 3 X's for good luck, or you leave her some rum or some sugar or some cigarettes, and apparently you get good luck. And then girls go and they'll put 3 little X's to get pregnant. Yeah, so yeah, voodoo priestess, voodoo queen of New Orleans. They got all kinds of rituals and stuff that go on down here.
Steve
Might
said,
hit
just stop by, hit that like button. I have to catch the rest of the show later. Thank you, man, for dropping by. I'm camping up by Lake Billy. Come up tomorrow and check out the boat. Yeah, man. I'll come check it out, bro.
That's
I
awesome.
My mother's taking off, she's going on vacation, and I got some things planned, so you know.
Where's your mom
Yeah,
going?
bro. We'll come she's going to Cape Cod. She's gonna
Oh,
spend a few days out there in Cape Cod.
well, that's a
Voodoo,
fancy place.
no. Voodoo. I don't mess with voodoo, man. No Ouija boards, none of that crazy stuff. Ali, Ali, what's up? Thank you so much for that $10. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, man. I'll be around tomorrow, man. Just hit me up and we'll get up. So, what ended up happening with your job? Do you might want to talk about it?
I just It wasn't meant to be. It was
Yeah.
just one of those things. Yeah. Well, I kept getting in trouble. You know, like I just wouldn't conform. I wouldn't keep my hair the way they wanted. I wouldn't, you know, I just could not stay within the lines that they wanted me to. So it just came to a point where I ended up getting fired, and it honestly be the best thing ever. It was the best thing because I was miserable doing it. You
Was
know
it
what
a
I
lot
mean?
of gossipy? Like,
Yeah,
was it
of
like kind
course.
of
I
like,
mean, you can Google my name right now and it's not going to be the best thing in the world. But, like, you know, you can do two things. You can be embarrassed about it, and, or, you know, let it define you, let it get you down, or you can just move past it and just kind of own it. So I just own it. You know what I mean? Like, it's out there. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, you can spend your life apologizing or just being you, you know? And I've spent a long time apologizing and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. So I'm not doing that anymore. You
yeah,
know, they have that thing, if you keep repeating the same mistakes, you know, like you're never going to grow. So you have to do
especially
something
when
different.
other people are trying to tear you down.
And, like, you know what I've
Like,
noticed is that whatever you do, no matter what it is, if you put yourself out there, if you try to take a chance, even if it's just like, you know, what we're doing when we talk about like mob girls or something, people will always try to tear you down or come for you in some kind of way. And it's
Steve's
just,
like, what did she do?
I got in trouble, a lot of trouble. So I
What's good
guess
with you, bro? Haven't seen you in a while, man. It's good to see you guys.
I think the main
All
thing
the
was,
testosterone. What's good with you, man?
look at who's this chick, brah? I'm Lisa.
Ultimate testosterone. What's good with you, man? Giddy up. Better be doing the PUA game, bro. Staxx. Hell no, man. I ain't messing with none of that. Did you see that? A lot of people are getting arrested for this, the loans, the PPE loans and all that crazy shit. A lot of people took out loans for when the virus was going around, and there is catching up to a bunch of people now. You know, the PPE loans they were giving out to people.
Yeah, that
So there
sucks.
was
Wasn't me. Not
no,
me.
not me either. I didn't
I
take
wasn't
not
one
a
of them.
dollar. So what they'll do is they'll track it right back to your um who if you take the money, right?
Right.
It was really easy to get money from the government. But if you take the money and a fraudulent means, you messed around on the paperwork and said some crazy shit, like lied to them. Like one company, I heard that the people had people working for them. All they did was laid them off, still paid them, and then kept all the money. And it was like
What?
$2 million,
That's
insane amount.
crazy.
So
That's
now they get
crazy.
to go to prison and pay all the money back. So
Well, that
fuck
sucks.
that.
That sucks.
Staxx is the alpha male. Yo, can you make your screen smaller and hers bigger? I don't know.
Now I'm on this side. There you
Bam, there
go.
you go. How's that?
Oh.
How's that
Let's
for
see, I
you
don't know
guys,
if I
man?
made that too.
How's that work for you, Steve?
That's too big.
So, what's your plans for the future? I know you do some of the reviews
I
on
don't
TikTok, right?
know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I heard this really great quote the other day, and I can't remember who said it, but they said, you know, if you're one of these people that's out in the world and you still don't know what you want to do, be grateful because you're not chained to something for life. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm still trying to find that thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've done all these other things. I've done corporate things most of my life, you know, media, you know, and radio, television, always working for corporations that I never, you know, working for them, especially when I did news, some of that was really hard. Like, you know, anything with animals or children. And I know that, like, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. But a lot of it was hard for me to, you know, take in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when there
because then
was,
you have to leave. Is there any stories that stick out to you
yeah, my
that
first
stick
my
with you?
first murder, I was with Rosa Flores, and she's gone on to work for CNN. She's a very, you know, decorated reporter, and she, you know, one of the best that there is. But I was with her, shadowing her, and we got a call about a murder, and it was one of the worst I've ever been to. We got there before the coroner had even arrived, and the guy was like laying there broad daylight, and it was on Poggers Street. Basically, he would get to there early in the morning, and he would eat his breakfast in his car every day. He'd been doing this for like 8 years, and I guess they had tried to rob him, and they shot him in the head. So he's like laying on his stomach with like his Nike shoes standing out with blood everywhere. And I remember we got out.
Oh man, she froze, man, right in the middle of the story. Hold on, she'll be right back. We're having technical difficulties. Damn, man.
Is it back?
No, yeah, it's back now. It's back now. All right.
Yeah, so anyway, I got there and
there's blood everywhere.
yeah, he was laying there dead, and like my reporter had to physically like move me. He's like, "Oh, watch out!" And like I almost like stumbled like over him. But the worst was when his family got there, and you know it was like out of a movie. Like I literally heard this like animalistic wailing, and I'm like, "What?" And I looked over, and it was like his mother, his sister, and his wife, and they came over. So for me, when that happened, I'm sitting there reacting with emotions, and the reporter that I was with, Rosa, she's a professional, and she was like, "You have to turn that off." And I had a rough time. Like I remember sitting in the car crying afterwards and just being very like upset about it. And she was like, "You have to let that go." And I was like, "I don't know if I can do that." And I still don't know if I could. There were situations like there was a animal shelter where the air conditioning went out, and all the animals ended up dying. And like that was another thing, like they go get the camera shots, but there's no kind of
right.
Yeah, and there's like such a lack of empathy. It was just get the shot and go. And it's like I have a hard time with that. Like I still have a very human, so for me that was hard. So I wasn't one that really, I can't get into that like that. I still have very human emotions. So I'm just thinking right now I'm going to try to do me in any aspect. I read this quote that said you have to put things out creatively. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like with my movie reviews, I do all kinds of things on TikTok. I do movie reviews. I do, I'm doing true crime right now too because I'm into that. And I want to do stuff about mafia girls because I'm curious. I love that. I want to do one about Janice because we were just talking about that.
Bro,
so
we
yeah.
have the one we didn't release yet. I still got the one.
Right.
If you guys don't know, we got a show called Women of the Mafia with Lisa and Staxx.
Isn't that funny? But I just think taking a chance and putting yourself out there in any aspect, you just have to do that. I think that's what you have to do in life. And in this day and age, we're getting the opportunities to do so with social media and all these platforms that give us opportunities to do things that we wouldn't ordinarily have. Like in television, I could never do these type of things. Here I can. So
yeah, well, you have certain limitations on YouTube because they tend to censor you. I can't.
How much so?
I can't say whatever I want on here.
Gotcha.
I want to say a whole bunch of stuff, but I can't because they'll shut you down.
It's weird. And then you have somebody like Sammy the Bull that's like saying so much, so it's weird, and he's like a huge star on, YouTube.
He ain't my idol.
I know.
Rob Rats one. What's up, bro? He says, "Wow, Staxx, your co-host, very beautiful."
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Again, bro.
What the hell's that mean?
I don't know. I was lost with that one too, for sure.
Simping.
Smoking. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was like, yes. He's okay. Thanks. I appreciate
what
that.
country is she from?
America, son.
You say what country is she from or county? Oh no, you said country.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got a lot of good shows in the works. Sammy's a rat. Definitely the biggest one out there, man. Here, I can't say Sammy without squeak.
And then one day he's going to see this and come for us. He's going to be pissed off and start feuding with us. And I'm going to get caught in the middle of it and be like, look, I had nothing to do with it.
Bring it on.
Right?
Meet me at Central Park.
Isn't that where he said he's going to meet the last guy? He's like, come and meet me in Central Park.
No. That's what the last guy said to Sammy. And he was like, he wasn't.
You're going to break a hip. You need to go sit down. Go sit down.
Yeah,
God bless him. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
The reason why you didn't get the notification probably because I set this for 8:30, but I had pizza in the oven, so I had started early. So, My
Did your mom
bad.
get it out? Your mom got it out
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you?
she handled it.
Did you make it yourself as a frozen pizza?
Yeah, of course.
You're Italian and you don't make your own pizza?
Go wild since this woman is on. Definitely, man. They're gonna be like, saying their normal spiels. I don't give any of them dudes no light. I give them no light because they don't deserve it from me, and they'll never get recognition from me ever.
Huh.
Even if you say their names in the fucking chat, I'll just overlook it. I didn't see that. I guess she's American. Yeah, man. She was born in America. What ethnicity are you?
Oh, Russian.
Did you ever do the ancestry thing?
Yeah, my mom. Get this. So we just found out that we're like related to Wild West people. You know, Bat Masterson, who was like with Wyatt Earp. So that was
Yeah.
like my great, 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 great grandfather. I'm like, it makes sense. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Once you do the ancestry thing, they own your DNA, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even care. Big Brother's looking at your phone anyway, so who cares? Sammy was used. Oh, oh.
It's
Yeah,
true. I second that. He does have a lot of information, but I think he's full of shit on a lot of things. I don't believe that him and John Gotti were at the Paul Castellano hit. I think that's bullshit. They didn't watch it go down. Why? Why would the boss be at a hit like that? It's not gonna happen. It's all fucking fairy tale shit. Another thing that he lies about a lot is there's a whole bunch of shit. Whole bunch
and
about
you just don't like him.
why he ratted on John Gotti. He goes back and forth. There's all kinds of lies that
Well, he was going to get killed himself, wasn't he? So he had to
hey,
kind
that's
of.
comes with the territory. You're in the mafia. You want to act like you're in the mafia. You want to be this big man. Then you take what comes with the territory.
I kind of agree with that, but I think that he kind of does that now, you know. And I get it, like it's on YouTube, but he still kind of owns it in a weird way, you know.
Have you ever heard him say he was sorry for killing those 19 people?
No, but honestly, I haven't listened long enough to know one way or another. So, you know, I've seen a little bit here and there. I've seen him tell stories mostly, you know? Yeah.
I think he's a narcissistic and he's full of himself. Honestly, I think if he could be involved with crime right now, he would be, and he
Because he
probably
just
is.
has it in him and he can't get it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can't. He has no remorse. He don't give a shit about nobody.
That's crazy to think that like the taxpayers at one point were paying for him to be in like the witness protection program.
Killed
So
a
like
16-year-old kid. He shot a kid in his back.
yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
Alan
Yeah.
Kaiser had no association with the mafia or any of that shit.
Wow. That's crazy.
There's a lot of different things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, a mafia hitman, you know what I mean? Like, and now a YouTube star. It's bizarre. Now you can have him wish you happy birthday.
I'm not up to the mob tube drama recently. I was pee hole and I'm not on terms with any of those scumbags. They're right where they should be, over there. I don't deal with none of them, man. They're all trash bags, and they can stay where they're at. So, I don't interfere with any of their dirtbag drama. They can keep it
So
over
if like
there
they
in the
asked you
trailer
to
park.
like go on their shows and stuff, would you ever do it though?
No.
No?
No.
Not even just to like say your piece and be like, hey, have you or anything?
No.
Wow.
I made the mistake of doing that once.
With who?
I don't even want to give them no recognition.
It was bad? What
They're all
happened?
trash bags. I'll tell you after the show.
I want to know all about it.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Did you have to
Put
fight
them in
him?
the bathroom. I already did. all of them are in the toilet. Mob tube, the whole mob tube is flushed down the fucking toilet.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. Yeah, I've seen Sammy, I've seen the other guy, Michael. I always say his last name wrong, but the Christian guy, you know, holy roly one.
Francis.
Right. Yeah, I watched a few of his.
Jimmy Calandra.
And then the other guy I like watching is the actor who was in The Godfather, who played the son-in-law, who gets Sonny killed. I can't remember his name right now, but he's like one of my favorite because he said he was like connected, and I love watching him.
Are you
I know,
talking
I'm trying to think. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I know you know who he is. But he has like his own, and he talks about all this stuff. He said he slept with Marilyn Monroe when he was like 16.
Oh, Ori.
There you go. I love that. Yeah, that's one of my.
I talk to Ori all the time.
So I
Not
love
all
his
the
stories are
time, but
great.
shout out to Ori Spotto. He's been on the show quite a few times.
His stories are great. Yeah, I love those stories. Yeah, he's got the best stories ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a great dude.
Now I'll watch his channel a lot.
So what does think about OnlyFans chick who
Oh,
murdered her
Courtney
boyfriend and
Tyler. Or is it Taylor? Courtney Taylor. Did you see this girl?
no.
Okay, so like she's a hot little number, and she was in Miami, and so she basically stabs her boyfriend, says it's in self-defense. So then,
Damn, cut her off right in the middle of the fucking story again, man. Hold on, she'll come back in 1 second. Technical difficulties, people.
am I back?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
So
So you
yeah,
said
she's
self-defense.
guilty. She said self-defense, but then they have a video that came out on TMZ where she's beating the shit out of him, and then all these people who were friends of hers come forward.
It was the black guy inside the elevator, right? She's slapping him and stuff.
She's slapping him and pulling his hair, and so now she's facing charges. She like went to Hawaii for PTSD or something. So like she's in Hawaii now, and I think she's probably going to go away with a slap on the wrist because of honestly, I hate to say white privilege. Honestly.
I did end up killing the fly with the zapper. Yeah, man, he's in the dirt. Don't want to crack. They're both trash too.
Yeah.
Let's get a moment of silence for all them trash bags, because here's their funeral, because they will never be discussed over here ever. I don't care how many views they get. I don't care what their fucking stories are.
Well, Sammy's like a millionaire from YouTube, isn't he? He's like a millionaire, isn't he?
Yeah,
like, isn't he like just banking?
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about
like it's insane how much money he's making. That's crazy.
What's up, Miss Lisa? Always good to see you. What's up, Staxx? What's good,
Hi.
Free Bird family? Don't worry. I think as we continue with the show Women of the Mafia, and we branch out and we do different shows about different things, I think our fan base is really gonna grow, and our people who watch the show I think it's gonna blow up.
I think so too.
What do you guys think out in the chat? Do you think that our show is gonna blow up eventually? It will grow. Mobrat1 says it will grow.
Definitely. Well, thank you.
They are all threatening to beat up women and threatening people. Yeah, that's why, man. You want to have a good time, just come over here and we'll have good conversation. We'll talk about some criminal history and things like that. And we're going to keep the drama away from this channel. We're going to keep it away from these shows. And we're just going to bring you the best content we can. He said they have 4 teeth between them all.
It'll grow.
Everyone's saying it will grow 100%.
Thank you. I think so too. I totally think so.
Was there any mafia connections in New Orleans? Yeah, man.
Yeah, Marcello family. They say the whole JFK assassination was brainstormed here, and not, the Marcello family was the ones that basically executed it. Like they got their guys.
Is he buried in?
Yeah, it's on the West Bank, I think. Yeah, and then David Ferry was here. He was, he's in like all the mafia movies. The guy with fake eyebrows.
Is it far from you?
No, not at all.
If anyone's watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, I'm sorry if I don't reply to your comment. I can't see the comments because I'm controlling it through StreamYard, so I can't see the comments on Facebook. But if you're watching it through Facebook, my bad. Shout out to all of you. But yeah, I can't wait. The shows that we got for the future are pretty good. We got Reds in the building. What's good, Red? Red from the other night is in the house. We got to have Red on as a guest so he can tell us about Arlene, because he said he had some dealings with Arlene Weiss.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. The more the
YouTube. It's all
merrier.
about the strategy. Damn right, Cadillac Jack. We're about to kill it, man. We're gonna come in and we're taking no prisoners, bro. Like sloppy McSlopster over there with his glasses and his I don't even want to get into it, man. Let me not even let me just cut all that bullshit out of this. Yes, the mob was in a lot of states. Hit that
Yeah.
like button, folks. Thank you for that, Red. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Lisa and Bill.
All right.
I appreciate you dropping by, Red. What's up, Red? I watched his video. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. The mob is pretty much dead now, bro. Yeah, it
Yeah,
depends.
that's. I
Then
think it
and
is.
it depends on where you go because there's different mob factions with every ethnicity, right?
But it will never be where it was, though. You
No,
know what I mean?
no.
There's no way it would ever have the power that it used to have,
But
and
the
that's almost.
Andromeda, is that how you say
Yeah.
it? They are pretty powerful right now. I hear that they're the most powerful organization in the world right now, or in
Wow.
Italy, in Italy, in that part.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mexicans running everything. That's correct too, man.
Ooh, and they're cruel too. Remember a few years ago when they put all the heads hanging from the overpass? Or I know it was like guys without heads. Like they were just.
Doesn't she have a chat or a channel? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I got a TikTok channel. Yeah.
TikTok. I put the link for your TikTok, I think, in the description of this video.
Yeah, I do everything. I do
But
movie reviews,
I think
everything.
your Instagram. I think I might have put a link for your Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me. I'm out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring you some good stories. We have a lot of different things we're gonna drop. And if you like our content, just hit the like button, hit the all bell so that you can get all of them and you'll get the notification when we go live. I can't wait to see you and Lisa Marie have us in the future.
Oh gosh, so much. Because there's so
Yeah,
much to talk about. Yeah, it just doesn't end. There's so much to talk about. I mean, we were just talking about the more modern ones, and they're still isn't what it used to be, but it's more low key. Russian mafia is strong. Now, I've heard that before too, that Russian mafia is super strong in New York. Although I don't know much about them, I do know that I had Russian friends, and they told me that you could always tell guys that were in the Russian mafia by the tattoos that they had. Because
yeah.
there are specific tattoos to certain regions of Russia, and so that you could tell, like it was something about, St. Petersburg had certain kind of buildings, you know what I mean, landmarks and stuff.
Just
I
like
always thought those were cool.
what's it called? The Chinese and
Yeah,
they get
yeah,
the dragon tattoos and all that stuff.
yeah. Some of it's really creepy. Yeah,
Do you? I think the more they're low key, the more dangerous they are. The
yeah.
more
Me too.
people don't know about them.
Well,
Like,
who was the one guy that was the mafia guy who dressed really bad and eccentrically, but he was like the most cruel by all standards? Like he
yeah,
was
he
so
wears shiny
strategic.
suits and shit, right?
Right, right, right. And he was so strategic and cruel and cold. So it's like I think the more unassuming ones are the ones that are low key effing out their minds, And I love it. I'm here for it.
Tommy
Yeah,
says, "Damn it, I don't have a TikTok." I feel
it's
you,
easy to
dog.
get one. It's easy to get one. Yeah, they got like all kind of stuff on there right now too.
Yeah, and you do reviews for different cases and movies, right?
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. I do everything. I do everything. These kids are doing it all on TikTok now. They're dancing, they're singing. So I'm like, why not? So I was telling stories about like what I've seen in New Orleans. Like I was just talking about there was a fire here. I just found out when I worked in the media that our streets are really narrow and the buildings are so old, so it's hard to fight fires in the city. So
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
like two cases where like these people burnt to death in front of onlookers and like people were like on the ground watching as this happened. So I just did two of those. I covered those two stories. Yeah, we've
Matter of
got
fact,
so many effed up stories here in New Orleans, really.
I am interviewing ex police officer from
Oh wow.
Chicago
Now they got stories.
who
Yeah.
arrested a guy for 7 counts of murder because he set a building on fire
Who
and
did
he
he arrest?
killed a bunch of people. The
It's
guy
got to be
here,
a
he's gonna
notable murder.
he's gonna tell me the whole story. I'm interviewing him on
Wow.
Monday, but so it's gonna be a pre-recorded interview. I'm gonna put it out later in the week, and
Wow.
he's gonna tell me all about it. It's gonna be
That's
pretty cool.
awesome. That's awesome. A good friend of mine is the Siren of San Quentin. Do you know who that is?
No.
Google her, Laura Jacqueline. So she's this girl that she was visiting, I don't know, like a friend or a loved one in San Quentin. And she's really pretty girl. Everybody says we look like sisters. So I'm giving her, she's gorgeous, but beautiful girl. So she's going back and forth to San Quentin. I think her brother was there or a friend. And there's a very famous serial killer on death row there named, he was the toolbox killer. He killed women in horrific,
I've heard of
horrible
him.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, weird story. She befriends him, and because she's a pretty, beautiful young girl, is able to. He would not give interviews. This guy, he's older, in bad health. She makes friends with him, and I think half of it was because she was expecting a baby. So they end up becoming friends, and he shows her where like 3 of the bodies are of like girls that he had killed back in the 70s. So she ended up finding these bodies for the families. Yeah, she's a very good friend of mine. And the prisoners call her the Siren of San Quentin. And it's hilarious because they did this art in the prison and she's got like boobs that are this big. But it's like that, like they just take up the whole mural, but it's like they really put detail and time into it. Like a bunch of guys, right? The guys were like, no, bigger,
Bigger,
but it's
bigger.
it needs to be taking up the whole wall. But we always talk about like how funny it is because like they really put some time and effort into it. But like she's awesome, like she's really, you should totally look her up on YouTube. She's amazing. Like this girl, is an incredible girl. I don't know if I could do that. I'd be terrified to talk to a serial killer like that. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Tommy Karate. This dude says he's spending the rest of his life in prison. You damn right, man. You chop up bodies and shit. That's where you're gonna be the rest of your life, man. Especially when you get caught.
Oh, I was just reading about how when Whitey Bulger got killed, the guys knew that he was coming in, and they got like a lock, and they went and beat him to death, and like they were like within the first 10 minutes, like, oh no, we're gonna kill him. Like for whatever reason, they didn't want to be in prison with him, so they just
people get hit with a lock in the sock, and it's brutal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you ever seen like that movie? I always think prison is like that movie American Me. That's what I imagine. Like from beginning to end, I'm just like, oh my god, it's a great movie, but
it's insane.
It's insane. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Lisa, do you ever go to Lake Charles?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't been in a while, but yeah, I've gone. Yeah. I haven't been in a long time.
My father used to travel the Mississippi River. He's been down to New Orleans. He used to be at Lake Pontchartrain. I have a picture of him at Lake Pontchartrain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He drowned on the Mississippi River in 2008. He died.
I'm sorry. Jeez.
It's life. But that was in 2008. And I ended up, but it was in Illinois, Iowa, up around there. And he used to travel the river.
Wow.
And his boat sank and he drowned.
Wow, that's terrible. Jeez. That's awful. No, was killed here in West Virginia. Yeah. I knew that, yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Geese. Allegedly.
4
years they held him with no charges. Now they finally get charged and hopefully they'll get out the hole and go. I don't know if they put you back into do they put you back into county jail once you have a charge like that and you have to fight it?
I don't know.
I did a story about my dad, but I'll do a more intricate about.
You should, yeah. You should, yeah. That's a lot to,
I will. I have a lot of different stories that I'm gonna do. I have one with this guy, Richard Crafts. I was locked up with him in prison. He put his wife through the wood chipper.
I was going to say oh my God. You knew him?
I knew him, but I wasn't friends with him. Like, he was just there.
I remember that story because like they found just like her pinky finger, like
that was a tooth.
A tooth. That's what it was. It was a tooth. Yeah. And then like, I think a witness had seen him or something. You should.
So a witness was driving on the bridge. It was the winter time. He was driving on the bridge, and he rented a wood chipper. I have the receipts. I have everything, and I'm putting the story together. Hopefully, I could do it justice.
That's a good one.
I watch you do them like these. Yeah, the ones on TikTok and things.
Was he nice at least?
No, the reviews you do on TikTok. That's like the type of thing that I'm going to do with.
You should, and you should do. I told you this last time. You should do a TikTok channel too. Like it's so easy. You should totally do a TikTok channel. You'd get a huge following. You know?
You think so?
Seriously. 100%. Yeah, totally. Totally. They
I'll
got
try it
people
out.
on here that, yeah. I mean, honestly, they got all kinds of people doing everything on there. And, it takes off. Some people even go monetary. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah.
You can
If you,
monetize almost anything, pretty much.
anything, I would love to do that. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yo, thank you for that like. Someone on Facebook just hit the like button. Thank you, man. Whoever's watching us through Facebook, I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
My boy George told me about that crab guy. Chattin.
When they chime.
Yeah, crab's crazy, man. Wait till you guys hear the story. It's pretty crazy. I used to travel.
Way down. Okay.
uh,
That's neat.
Iowa. I've been in Burlington, Iowa, man. I've been
Hmm.
there.
I have not.
New Orleans as a kid. Went through the locks. Dude, I went 100 miles down the Mississippi by myself on a flat bottom boat with one oar. No
What were
motor.
you doing?
I was down in Rock Island, Illinois to have a funeral for my father. I was all drunk, shit faced, and I ended up taking a boat, a little rowboat
Wow.
down the river. I just launched it off.
I was gonna say that's not like a normal story. That's like some
Nah,
kind of midlife crisis, epiphany, something bad's happening or something good, some kind of life something
it
to where
was
you
a
just
bad time in my life. Like I was really depressed. I was
so
like,
you just Huck Finned it. You just Huck Finned
yeah,
it. You that's
and it was fun. It
crazy.
was a lot of fun, but there was barges, beef smashing the horn, like get out of the river. What do you do? You're gonna kill yourself. But
Were you scared?
I no, I didn't
No?
care. No.
God, I would have been terrified.
My father just passed away. I was really drunk. I didn't care about nothing. Like I was like living like that. Definitely not how I am now. Total
Why were you doing it? You were just being reckless, or were you sad? It's got to be a depressed thing, right?
well, that was the time in my life when I was really messed up on drugs and alcohol, and then my father dying didn't help the situation.
Oh, and then it went
So
worse, huh?
once that happened, I really went overboard, and I just didn't care about nothing. So
Who deals with that right though, right? Are you glad you did it ultimately?
yeah, going out there and having the funeral and all that, because I had to go to prison first. So
What?
yeah, so he died, and then I had to turn myself in, go to
How long were you
prison.
in prison for?
That time, 9 months.
Oh my God, that's
So
terrible. Where'd you go?
altogether, I've only did state time in prison. Altogether, I did about 5 years. And
Wow.
but hey, you get through it. Like I haven't been to prison in a long time. It's been like 12 years, and I don't plan on going back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't want to go back. Yeah, no, f that. Did they have
No,
people that like? Did you have to get into fights and stuff to defend yourself? Like, is it
yeah.
like, yeah?
I was young when I started going to prison. I was like 15 years old the first time I went,
Wow.
and then I've been arrested 26 times. I
Oh
was
my
really
God.
yeah, I was always drinking, getting arrested, stupid shit, and I was in and out of prison. I thought I was never gonna stop. I thought I was gonna end up dead or in jail, and thank God I was able to break the cycle and get
What made you
clean.
stop?
Uh, just getting tired of living like that, and not having a normal life. I wasn't happy. Like, and now that I'm sober, I was like I was like a prisoner to the alcohol,
Yeah, that's
you know.
terrible. Yeah, yeah, that's awful. And going
And
through
now
addiction of any kind, yeah.
wasn't the 9 months in county. No, once so when you first get arrested, you go to county. Once you get sentenced, if you have to turn yourself in, you go to county first. You'll stay there for about a month, and then they ship you off. So the last time I went to prison, I did 9 months. The first
Wow,
time I got 2.5 years. I did almost 2 years off that, and then
wow.
in and out, in and out, in and out.
That's scary though. That's hard.
But
That's
that's no
hard.
more.
Yeah.
I was only 12 when my father passed away. It's messed up, messed me up. Damn, man, I'm sorry for your loss. But it feels so good to be broken out of that. The grips of addiction is a really bad place to be, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, everything. It's just, I was always on probation during my times through life. Like, I'd be on probation, I'd be trying to, finagle my way around the urines all the time. I'd get caught. One time I had like, I don't know, 10 dirty urines, violated my,
Wow.
it was insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
that's terrible. Yeah, it sounds like you've been through a lot. Do you ever think about writing a book?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm
You
thinking about it.
should. You should. Yeah. My dad, he's a DJ, and I just found out that this guy that worked with him wrote a book, and he's in the book, and I thought that was weird. But yeah, you should totally read a book, write a book. Hello, how are you, Bruno? Nice to see you.
What's good, Bruno? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Staxx, and people
Some of
in
my
the
kinfolks.
last name, Brewer. Some Kim folks. Yeah, man, I
Did,
know Brewer, I think.
did anybody try to like get to you in prison? I know I gotta ask that because like yeah, I've
What do you
seen so
mean?
many movies. Like like
You want to hear a prison story about them getting crazy in prison? I got a good one. I got a really interesting one. Now, hold on, let me wait till she gets back. I think Mr. Staxx is a friend of Bill West. Bill West? Who's Bill West? Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay. You want to hear a story about some crazy
I
shit in
do.
prison?
I do.
All right.
I do.
So I was in this prison. It was a gang prison, and
Oof.
so I'm uh I'm a young kid, right? And I think I just turned 18, 18 or 19. So I'm in this prison. These dudes are insane. Like, have you ever seen Strength Cartel? Them really big
Yeah.
muscle guys. That's what these dudes look like in prison. All of them. They
Oh
all
my
look
God.
like that.
Because all
So
they do
you
is
walk,
work out.
all of them. So you walk
Yeah.
in there. I'm a little white guy. I'm like 160 pounds, probably less than that back then. And I'm looking around and they all look like Strength Cartel guys. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting fucking killed. Like, this is it. I'm done. So some I don't want to give away all this story because I'm
Right.
gonna, I'm gonna explain it at some point. But so I ended up getting a job in the kitchen, right? And one day I had a friend, his name was Pookie. We ended up being cool, right? He was huge, huge. He was a mean looking dude. Shout out to Pookie. I know you're still out there. If he is still out there, he's from the Britain. Hopefully he's out of prison. I don't know. He might still be in prison. Everyone that was in there, they all had like big numbers, football numbers, 18 years or more. So um I'm walking to work one day and I walk by this cell and I look over, and you're not supposed to look in people's cells. That's like
Right.
a major rule. Don't look in people's cells because you're gonna see some shit you don't want to see,
You
right?
don't want to say right.
So I see some shit that look crazy and I'm like bugging out because I'm young. I never seen no crazy shit like this. So when I go to the kitchen, my friend Pookie's there. I'm like, bro, what the is this? These dudes are in there doing crazy. What the hell is that? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at this point, I've been at this place for about maybe a year, maybe a little less than a year. So I'm like, that shit will never happen to me. I don't give a shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm running my mouth, right? All of a sudden, this dude, Pookie, makes a motion like, and all these dudes just jump out of nowhere, right? It's in
Oh
the kitchen.
shit.
They grab me. All these guys, there's like 6 dudes. They grab me. And I'm like, can't move. Can't move.
Oh no.
And this is in the kitchen, right? And so I'm like, what the fuck is going
I'm
on?
getting killed. I'm getting
This dude
killed,
comes
right?
up to me and he's like, you still think it can't happen?
Oh
And I'm,
my God. That's what he said. Oh
yeah,
my God. So you thought you were going to get like raped and murdered that moment. Oh my
I,
God.
I was
Bite the rice
terrified.
essay.
Terrified.
That's terrible. And what were they doing? Just messing with you to teach like teach you a lesson to be like,
Yeah.
don't run your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. Like basically, it
Ah,
could
that's
happen
so
to you.
weird. Oh my God, that's terrible. Oh my
Insane.
God, that's awful. Yeah, you need to write a book. That's some crazy shit. You need to write a book for sure.
Joe Cerno, what's up, man? He said Staxx hit him with the stories, man.
Yeah, we need to hear more. That's something.
Oh, I got a lot more to go with it.
Yeah.
Like from where how I even met Pookie was insane. Like I thought I was gonna get killed, and it worked out. I have a thing where you can go check out the I did an interview with Bill Crooks. Did you see that?
Yeah, of course. He's a friend of mine. You know I love him. He's one of
Yeah,
my
shout
favorite
out to
people
Bill,
ever.
man. Bill's a
Yeah,
great
he's so
dude.
cool. He's the coolest. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories like that, but
We need
I
to get
want to.
into it.
Yeah, I should. I really should.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I always just think it's like the movies. You know what I mean? Like, you think it's what is portrayed in the movies. So I want to know what it's really like without having to go and experience it myself, you know? Here we had a prison that got shut down because it was in such bad condition, you know?
I wonder. It's probably really bad out there in prison.
Yeah, Google it, YouTube it one day. It's bad. They have a new one now, but before that,
Do they have air conditioning in the new one?
yeah, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A couple years back, they had this poor kid that got out on the roof just to smoke a cigarette. They beat the crap out of him on live TV. Yeah, I was
Yo,
covering the whole thing.
I would bring Pookie on, man. Pookie, if you're out there, bro, hit me up.
Yeah,
Hit
we
me
want to
up
hear
on
Pookie's story. Right.
Facebook. He was in there for killing somebody, I believe. You
That's
know,
funny.
you never ask, but
No, that doesn't mean nothing though. One of my favorite
there's a
people
lot
killed
of
somebody.
people in there with a lot of heavy charges. JDL,
Yeah,
Pretty Ricky. There was a whole bunch of them. Shout out to all my guys out there, man. They remember me. I'm sure they do. Shout out to Chase. Can your mouth won't help you, Staxx. No, it didn't help. Well, it helped me get out because I'm like, dude, yeah, it can happen. All right, all right. Oh yeah. But so Pookie like kind of took me under his wing. He's kind of like,
that's awesome.
I'm not built like Staxx, bruh. I can only handle minimum security prison doing white collar crime. Yo, that's the thing. People are like, how do you survive in prison? Blah blah blah. You have no choice, man. Once you're there, you have no choice. You have to go through it. Walk through the fucking fiery hell. And it doesn't matter how scared you are, how terrified. They just push you in that motherfucker and say, fend for yourself, handle business. And that's what it was.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was at times, but tell her about the dude biting the guard's face off.
Wow.
Yeah, we were walking through to go to chow one day, and the guards making fun of this kid he tattooed Thug Life or something like that. He Thug on his arm. It was Thug he tattooed, and he just got out of SEG, and they sent him back to the block. And you got to walk with your hands behind your back, with your head down when you walk to go eat, right? The chow hall. So you walk out single file, and you walk out into this one hallway where they lock both the doors. Boom, boom. And there's a guard that walks like in between the line to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And the guard's walking on the side of this kid, and he's like, "Thug, you think you're a thug?" And he's like harassing him, kind of.
Hmm.
And the kid's just sitting there like minding his business, and he just popped up and grabbed the cop and bit his face. He bit his
Wow.
cheek and ripped a chunk out, and you could see his teeth and
Oh
everything.
my
It was insane.
God.
He spit it out. He had
God.
blood everywhere.
Like a
People
bad
were
movie.
up against the wall. You
Yeah,
couldn't go anywhere. You're trapped in there with this dude. It
that's
was it was
crazy.
crazy. People are like,
Yeah, you got to write a book. You got to write a
you
book,
can't even
man.
open the door to get out. Like you're stuck, and this dude's got blood everywhere. The guard's on the ground screaming. And
That's
this dude's,
terrible.
it was insane.
I would have flipped out.
And then the goon squad's coming, and you know they're gonna beat the shit out of everybody.
Everybody,
It doesn't
everybody.
matter. You don't have to be involved with anything. You're there.
Yeah, that's what they do here. Is they, beat first, ask questions later. Yeah.
And then
Our prisons here are notoriously bad. Like horrible things happen. Like men go in for DUI and commit suicide mysteriously. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's happened. Look it up. There's some creepy cases here. I would not want to go to prison here.
is Gene back in jail? Who knows, man? He will be fast the way he acts. Probably. Who knows? Who cares? What about NYC Rikers? Never been there, bro.
Don't go. Yeah, no thanks. No bueno. No bueno.
Yeah, you adapt in jail, definitely.
I would imagine you would have to. I imagine there would be no other way to get through it.
I've seen people get stabbed over plastic chairs. Like,
yeah,
out of here. You can have the fucking thing. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's your shit. You can have the fucking chair, the cell, all of it. You can have all that shit. But you can't have my fucking commissary. You ain't taking my shit. Like, that's the only thing. You have to stick up for yourself. Win, lose, or draw, you have to stick up for yourself. You cannot let people put you around. Because the second they do, and they get a sense of any bullshit from you, they are taking full advantage of you. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen a lot. Like, a lot.
That's terrible.
And they push it because especially in a 23-hour a day lockdown prison, they don't have nothing else to do. You don't have TV in there. And I've been to MYI when I was a young kid, and they called it Gladiator School. It's Manson Youth Institution. It's 23-hour lockdown, 14 years old to 22, I believe. And I was there until I was 18.
Wow.
It was bad.
That's terrible.
But it is what it is. I made it, and I'm here.
I was going to say, it made you who you are, though. Yeah, it made you who you are. Yeah. You have to struggle a little bit.
I remember going in there when I was a kid. They had a big fat guard, right? His name was Biggie. They called him Biggie. He looked just like Biggie Smalls. A friend went to Rikers for 90 days, came back with 30 pounds more muscle. Damn, bro.
I believe it, yeah.
In the counties here, you cannot work out because they don't feed you enough. You can't work out because then you're going to be so hungry, your body's going to start eating itself. So you have to either work in the kitchen to work out, or you have to go up the way because they don't give you enough on the state trays in order to gain weight.
Wow.
Ordered Wildcat had prisoner turkeys and tenors that would put a lot of guys in the ground in the 70s, Texas. Ramsey, I've heard of the Ramsey unit. It's insane. Texas, no joke. I wouldn't be messing around committing crimes out in Texas. There was a riot when I was there. It was great. Like, I do have enough stories to do a book. I should.
We should do a show where you talk about your prison experiences, the ones you want to. Would you do that?
Yeah,
would you? Yeah, I think that would be cool because I think that that's a trigger subject. There's a lot of people that are curious. I mean, they make movies and stuff, but nobody can really know unless they've been there and experienced it, And you have.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
We should. We should do that.
Yeah, we'll set it up. I'll write some highlights of some things, some funny. I'll do all right. I'll say some funny stories, some serious shit.
You should.
Staxx Survivor. Thank you, Red Man. Appreciate you. Commissary peanut butter. Yeah, drinking Kool-Aid out the peanut butter jar, man.
They got prisoners on TikTok that do recipes. It's hilarious. They do TikToks from in prison, and they'll do these the things they do with ramen are so brilliant.
It's good.
I believe it. Yeah, they make cakes and stuff. Yeah, they did one where they did burritos and enchiladas. I'm like, damn,
Once I was there, starting to once you're there doing your time, you get in a routine where you're cooking with all this shit. You got tuna and cheese and all this stuff. It's really good. I think I ate really good there. a lot of time before I ate really good Brazil.
That's funny.
People are messaging me. But yeah, we're gonna do another we'll do a show sometime this week, right?
Yeah,
Women of the
whenever you want
Mafia. We're gonna do another show. If you snore, you sleep on the floor.
to.
Yo, if you ever go to prison, don't spit in the sink. Don't spit
Really?
in the sink. That's one rule. They will fuck you up in there.
Why? Why?
You gotta spit in the toilet because
Why?
they wash their clothes in the sink.
Oh,
They
okay.
cook their food sometimes in the sink. You never want to spit in the sink.
I didn't know that. Wow, that sucks. Toilet wine.
Staxx makes so much money per year. He only goes into sugar date sites. The fuck? Makes so much, goes into sugar date sites to pick up all the expensives. Yeah, man. Listen, man, I ain't poor, but I ain't no baller like that. I ain't no rich motherfucker. Just because I travel a lot, I work hard for what I get. You know, everything I have, I work really hard for. Staxx gotta go scoop up my old lady. We watch later. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. I got a lot of good shows coming this week. Make sure you guys stick around and check out the stories this week. Women of the Mafia. You know, I got Mugshot Monday on Monday, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Mugshot Monday, where we talk about. Did you see Mugshot Mondays with me and Zay yet?
Yeah.
He's funny. Zay's funny. I gotta have him come on here one time with you.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
a
wish I
really.
had a mugshot to put with it, but I don't. I'm
Matter
lucky.
of fact, I was in prison with Zay
Really?
a couple times. Yup, yup,
A couple times.
yup. We were in county jail together.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That's awesome. That's good, man.
Gunnar Lindblom doing a Zoom meeting with an A-list actor, top level producers getting $25 million series, Netflix and HBO. Thoughts? Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't hate on nobody, man.
Yeah, make some money for yourself. Do you? Do you? Who cares?
Have Lisa would have the hottest mugshot.
I would try. I definitely would.
It says alligator, drugs, guns, and money found, but where is the tiger? What the fuck?
Huh.
New Mexico, alligator, drugs, gun were found during a raid in Albuquerque, New Mexico last month. Wildlife officials said there's a tiger missing.
That's crazy.
He kept it as a pet, and
As
now,
a
now the
pet.
tiger cub is missing. It's
That's
30
nuts.
to 60 pounds.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. It's under 1 year old. It
Wow.
can grow to 600 pounds.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Dude had an alligator. That's insane. Drug dealers are insane.
They
I
got
mean,
this story about a guy who had a bar down here past the bayou, and he had an alligator. And the story goes that he would get rid of some of his more troublesome strippers by feeding them to the gator that was in the bayou in the back of the club. Not even joking. This is like in the 50s and 60s. It's
I
like
mean,
a
there is a lot of alligators there, right?
yeah, they made a movie about it. Oh yeah, you can take tours and like feed them and stuff like that. You know, yeah. Oh yeah, they're everywhere here, all over. When I
Yeah,
first
like
moved here,
if
like
you drive down
literally,
the
there was one
road, you
across the
could
street.
see one on this right
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
road,
Oh,
right?
if it rains too much, they come up out of the bayous and the canals. They got canals everywhere here, and they come out of them. Yeah, it's crazy. They had
Do
one
you
come out just a
swim?
while ago. Yeah, oh,
Do you
yeah, but
swim down there?
no, I do not. Oh God, I would never go in the water here. Absolutely
But
not.
there are
No.
people that do, right?
Yeah, some, but I wouldn't. Yeah, they're always having some kind of water situation down here. You know. Yeah, and they've got so many creepy crawlies, crawfish alone. No way. You know.
Honestly, Ultra, I call bullshit, bro. $25 million. Get the fuck out. You want to be on YouTube fucking announcing it, bro. You probably keep your mouth shut and work out the deal and handle your business instead of telling everybody about it, don't you think? Because if you got a $25 million fucking movie or deal made about yourself, you're not going to be telling everybody about your business. I don't think so. But hey, wish you luck on that $25 million deal, Lindblom. But I appreciate you for taking the time tonight, and thank you for telling us a little bit about your background so people can know who you are and they can stop asking me, who's this Lisa?
It's so simple. I'm just a girl that used to do television that got caught in a strip club and got thrown out of television, and so now I'm doing me. That's basically it.
And she
And
wasn't on the pole.
I wasn't on the. I was just enjoying the strip club, having a good time. It was my birthday. What can I say? But yeah, like I said, wouldn't conform. And so what do? You come out and you try to do a TikTok channel and do movie reviews and talk mafia stuff with Bill Staxx because it's freaking awesome, and get him to tell his prison stories because I want to hear his prison stories now. I want to hear. Like, I'm curious. Like, I'm just gonna gutturally ask you this, but like, did anyone ever like try to rape you?
No.
You're a good-looking guy. Like, I would assume you'd be high up on the pedestal for that. You know what I mean? Like, I have,
The closest I came was in the kitchen when they grabbed me. That was it.
What about like in the shower? Were you terrified? Like, do you have to get naked right away? Like,
well, you have to get naked in front of the guards when you first.
Because you got to do the whole squat thing, right? Where they make you.
But they don't make you take a shower altogether. Only certain.
Gotcha. Okay. See, I'm telling you, we need to do a whole show where you could just tell these stories because, like, I'm fascinated by this stuff. Like prison movies, I love watching prison movies because it's something that's so foreign and scary to me. Because thank God I've never been in prison. Thank God. But like,
yeah, well, we'll do a show where I'm
we
talking
need to. Yeah, we need to.
You just ask me the questions and I'll just tell you.
I can totally do that. I'll be like Barbara Walters, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that this week.
I would love that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, I want to hear stories, man. I want to hear stories.
And I have Joseph P. Langdon.
Oh, cool, man. That's
Wednesday.
awesome.
Do you know him?
I do, yeah.
From the sand block to the cell block.
Wow.
He's
I
been
like stories like that.
He's got a crazy story, and
that's so cool, man. I always think how creepy it must be the first night in prison when you're like literally in a cage and you're thinking to yourself, the government thinks I'm such a menace to society that I'm in a freaking cage tonight. And for the next couple months or years or whatever in my life, like I can't even imagine that. I'd be effing terrified. But I'm charming, so I'd probably be running the cell block in like 6 months, you know?
Sticky Steve. Sticky Steve? No, man.
No, but with a name like that, I'm wondering, you know, what he did, you know? Why is he called Sticky Steve?
Gorgeous George. So there's a legend in Connecticut, a guy called Gorgeous George. He allegedly knocks people out and to them.
What? Oh my God. What?
So he apparently died from AIDS from doing
that. Oh shit. Jeez.
The legend is he was a huge dude, and if you didn't let him do it, he would just knock you out and do it.
Oh, I'd just die fighting then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we're gonna go out fighting. You're gonna have to kill me too. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. I feel the same way. That's terrible. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad that never happened to you. First thing I thought was, you know, I'm a little young dude. You know what I mean?
Spooky. Who heard of Spooky in prison? It's written in every Connecticut prison. Spooky. Over every intercom. It's on every wall. Spooky. If you guys
Why?
I don't know. It's just somebody's nickname that's been to every prison. And
so he just writes Spooky everywhere. That's crazy. Yeah. That's nuts.
But yeah, we'll get into the prison stories this week. And
that's cool, man. I love it. I love it.
Give the people what they want to hear. But I appreciate you taking the time. And
this was fun today.
This weekend it's going to be. This week we're going to have a good one this week. And thank you. It was good.
This was fun. Yeah.
So everyone, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. You want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
I just want to say hey to everybody. Doing good, man. Kicking ass and taking names.
Definitely. Hit that like button. And if you can't, donate to the channel. Share the video. Thank you all. and I'll see you soon. Peace. Thanks again, Lisa.